Let's dive into Rocco's training so we can stay consistent at home. Whenever he's doing behaviors that we want to keep seeing, whether that's showing us nice, calm behaviors or he's following our commands, we want to reinforce and reward those with either praise, petting, or treats. Then, whenever he's doing things that we don't want to see, whether that's jumping up on us or he's counter surfing or he's not following our commands, we're going to follow through with the training equipment so we can decrease those unwanted behaviors. So, let's go over Rocco's training equipment. This is his prong collar. He's going to wear this whenever he is on a leash. How we take this on and off is we're going to secure one of the links and push the other one through like so. To put it back together, we're going to pinch this prong and put it through the holes of the other prong. Then whenever he wears this, the leash will attach to this D-ring that swivels. How we use this, say he is in the heel command. Heel is that nice loose leash walking on the left side. Say he starts to pull ahead or does something that we don't want to see in the heel. We're going to say no to mark the incorrect behavior. Follow through with a pop of the leash and then remind him heel. So no, pop, heel. And then of course, when he gets back into the position where we want him, praise, petting, and treats to reinforce where we want him to be. Now with the remote collar, how we turn this on and off, red dots on both the collar and the remote. Touch these together. That green light means it's on, charged, and ready to go. On and off button on the back of the remote. We're going to push and hold until the screen lights up. You're going to see level 20 appear on the screen. This is Rocco's working level. Then we're going to focus on the black S button today. S just stands for stimulation, so it's just like an electric muscle stimulator. So how we use this, say he is in that heel command, that loose leash walking, say he does something that we don't want to see, we're going to say no, marking the incorrect behavior, black S button, heel, no, button, heel. And then depending on the level of distraction that we have, depends on which one we're going to use or if we're going to use both of these. Just depends on the situation that we are in with Rocco. With the remote collar, it's going to be the first thing that we put on in the morning, and then it's the last thing that we take off at night. So we always have that form of communication with Rocco throughout the day. With the prong collar, he will have this whenever he is on a leash. So in the beginning, he may have the leash and prong on in the house to introduce new commands. Then we can slowly fade away from having the leash and prong on in the house and just have this. So this will be just whenever he is on a leash. First thing in the morning, last thing at night that we take off. Now that we've gone over Rocco's training equipment, let's go over his commands. We've already kind of gone over that loose leash walking, which is the heel. So about 80 to 90% of the walks, I would recommend doing the heel command. The other 10 to 20%, we give him his release word free. Free means he's not in any set command. That's going to be his time to go do his business where we're going to follow him rather than him following us. Still, while he's in a free, that still means that he can't make any unacceptable behaviors that we don't want to see. So just because he's in a free doesn't mean he can come jump on us. If that happens, we follow through the training equipment even though he's in that free command. Now we have sit. Sit means stay is implied until he's given the release word free. This is really good for those door manners, so he can't just run through the door without us. So whenever we approach a door, whether it's inside or outside, we're going to have Rocco sit. Sit means stay is implied, so as we're opening the door, if he gets up, we're going to follow through with the training equipment, get him back into his sit, and then we're going to do it again. Then we have two options. We can either heel through the door with Rocco, or we can let him go on his own and we can just tell him free. So with this, we want to make sure that we're having him sit and stay and try it until he gets it right so we can set those same boundaries that we have here at the facility at home. And so when we say sit, he does it on the first time and not the seventh time that we ask him. Now we have down. Down means stay is implied as well. So whenever we're practicing down, whenever we're working with him, we never want to call him from his stay commands, whether that's sit, place, or down. We never want to walk 10 feet away and then call him to us because then he'll get rewarded for coming to us and not staying in his stay command. So when we're practicing down, we can do whatever distraction's going on. We're always going to go back to where Rocco is and release him from where he is so he gets rewarded for staying in that down stay. Then when rewarding this, we want to make sure we reward as low to the ground as possible so he knows where that positive zone is. Then say we're practicing the down and we walk 10 feet away and then he comes to us without us calling him. What we're going to do, we're going to follow through the training equipment, take him back to the spot where he was in the down, do the distraction again, and then we're going to go back to Rocco where he is and reward him and release him from where he is. Now we have place. Place is a boundary stay, ideally on an elevated bed. This one's really good for whenever we're having people come over or whenever we're eating dinner so Rocco isn't in the way and getting underneath people's feet or begging at the table. So when practicing place, we'll take him over to place. With bigger distractions than the first time we practiced it in the home the first couple times, I would suggest having the leash and prong on so that way we can guide him back to the place bed if we need to. So we have people come over, Rocco is on place. If he gets up, just look it down, we're going to guide him back to the place bed. Try it again. Then whenever we're rewarding him, we want to reward on the place bed so he knows where that positive zone is. And just like with down or sit, we're not going to release him from a distance. We're always going to go back to that place bed where he is and release him from where he's at so we don't accidentally reward him for coming to us. Now we have come when called. When practicing this one, I would suggest having a 30 to 50 foot leash just in case he gets extra distracted and we need to reel him back in like a fish. We'll give him that release word free, let him go get distracted doing his own thing, because ideally when we need him to come back to us, it's going to be whenever he's off doing his own thing, sniffing, whatever. So we'll let him get distracted. Once he's nice and distracted, we're going to say calm, nice, loud, and firm. When he's coming to us, we're going to praise him. Whenever he gets into our space, we'll have him sit. Then we give him the reward. Say when we're practicing this one, he gets extra distracted out there and he doesn't respond to us when we call him. What we're going to do is we're going to say no to mark the not coming to us, follow through with the training equipment, call him again, and then we're going to go right back into that praising, and he's still going to get a reward when he comes into our space. Because just because he made a mistake out there doesn't mean we're also going to be a mistake as well. Coming to us is always going to be a positive, so that way he never has a negative with coming into our space. So even if he makes a mistake out there, comes into our space, sits, and we still give him that reward. It's really good to have that positive association with coming into our space. And it also brings in the reward history, which is just getting rewarded for a command every single time. So he looks to have that treat every time he gets into our space. Now we have leave it. Leave it just means don't grab that. Practice with dog safe boots to start out with. Throw something on the floor, say leave it. If he doesn't, we're going to follow through with the training equipment. I would suggest having the leash and prong on so we can guide him into different scenarios the first couple times. We say leave it. If he doesn't, we're going to follow through. We'll try it again, give it into a different scenario. And then if he does, we have two options. We can either reward him from our hand and then allow him to pick it up off the ground like I do in the video, or you can never let him pick something up off the ground. So he never thinks that it's okay to grab food off of the ground. That's completely up to you and your standards with Rocco. But that is all of Rocco's commands. So just like in the beginning, we want to reinforce and reward everything that we want to keep seeing from Rocco. Then those behaviors that we don't want to see from Rocco, we're going to follow through so we can decrease those unwanted behaviors that we don't want to see. So lots and lots of positivity with things we want to keep seeing, follow through with the training equipment we do not want to see. But that is everything. We're going to have fun, stay consistent, and now we're going to watch Rocco do his commands. Sit. Sit. Down. Good boy. Down. Good boy, Rocco. Down. 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 Good boy, Rocco. Down. Good boy. Down. Good boy. Down. Free. Good boy, Rocco. Let's go over the other features of the remote. We've already gone over how to turn it on. Now let's go over how to turn it off. Same concept as turning it on. Red dots, touch these together. That red light means the collar is off. On and off button on the back of the remote. We're going to push and hold until the screen goes blank. Now they turn off separately, so that way when Rocco is wearing it, he can't accidentally turn it off on his own, and we know that it's going to stay on whenever he's wearing it. Now the other buttons on the remote, we've gone over that black S button. That is going to be whatever number we see on the screen. Right now it's level 20. That's what's been working for Rocco. Say that you notice when you get home that level 20 is either too much for Rocco or he is not responding to it at all. What we can do is we can change that by holding down on the dial and changing this to whatever number we think is going to work for Rocco. Right now, level 20 has been working, so I'm going to take it back to level 20. How we lock this in place is we're just going to hold down on the dial again. So that way when we put this in our pocket, we can't accidentally change it to whatever number. It's going to stay there unless we want to unlock it. Now on the other side, we have a T button. This is a vibrate feature. We like to use this to make sure that the collar is on and ready to go. Whenever Rocco gets a little bit further into his training in a couple of years, you can kind of use it as like a warning button because he could get far enough to where he doesn't need the stimulation, but he's about to cross a line, so we just give him that warning vibration. Now underneath the black S button, we have the red S button. This is a boost feature. So whenever it is on level 20, if I press the red S button, it is going to jump it 25 levels to 45. This is a boost feature to communicate with Rocco whenever he's doing something dangerous or something that could cause him harm, whether he's chasing after a squirrel or he's chasing after a car. We have a way to communicate with him whenever he's in that highest state of adrenaline. So whenever he's just normal, we're at level 20, that works great. But whenever he's chasing a car, he is all the way up here, and we can't communicate with him with the level 20 because it's not enough to catch his attention. So we need an instant way to communicate with him in those emergency situations. So we have that red S button for emergency cases only. Now on the back of the remote, we have the on and off button. This also works as a flashlight feature. So instead of holding it, if you press it, it's going to be a flashing light. That second time, solid flashlight. Third time, turns it off. Right next to the on and off button, we have an M/C button. This stands for momentary or continuous. In the beginning of Rocco's training, we introduced the collar in a very slow way on continuous. So that way we can pair this collar to commands that he knows in a positive way. And then once it gets further into his training, we move it over to momentary at a little bit of a higher level. So now that's where he should stay for the rest of his training. Underneath the on and off button, we have the charging port. These stay charged for about 2 days if he wears it for 12 to 14-hour days. So if you charge it every other day, you should be good. And then underneath these ones is right here for the collar. It does come with a dual charger, so if you charge them both at the same time, you know that one won't be dead and the other one be charged. Then it also comes with longer prongs for the collar itself. Rocco has shorter hair, so the shorter prongs should have no problems making contact, but if you need to switch them over, they are there. At the bottom of the box, there is a manual as well if you're interested in reading it, and all the other features of the remote. The vibrate feature also can be a tone feature. If that's something that you want to introduce to Rocco, you are more than welcome to. Both the remote and collar are waterproof, so if they get wet, not too big of a deal. Let's just make sure we rotate the collar on Rocco's neck so it's not rubbing and irritating one part of his neck from being wet a little too long. Then on the back of the box, we have the company. This does have a 2-year warranty, so if you have any questions or something happens with the remote, you are more than welcome to reach out to the company and hopefully they can get you something sent over and figure out what's going on. But that is all of the other features of the remote. So just like in the beginning, we're going to have fun, stay consistent, and that's everything.